Hi, I'd like to give you a very quick editorial on how to make some very inexpensive spinner lures like the Blue Fox style or the MEPS blade style lures that are very effective for steelhead, salmon, trout, whatever runs in your river that's going to be biting on your lure. You can use this style of wire. I'm all out of this kind, and you know, these are $2.80 for 12 of them. Or you can use a very inexpensive, probably free paper clip. Start off by straightening the paper clip out as straight as possible. Taking my wires, my little round pliers, putting a bend in the bottom. Take my treble hook. You could use a split ring. This is a lot cheaper. You're gonna lose these. Don't spend so much money on the little things that you don't need it. You know. You put that on there. Take your pliers. Twist it around. Make sure it's straight. If you got extra, clip it off. Make sure that you catch it because you don't want to step on this later. Trust me, I've done it. Got the little piece. So now you've got your first part. You got your hook and your wire shaft. The next thing is I've taken an egg sinker. These I bought at Walmart. They're steel. I think they cost maybe $4.50, something like that, for 35 pieces. There are larger sizes and smaller sizes. I've used both. This is basically what I have left, so I'm just showing you for this tutorial. And I've taken this Protect powder paint and put a nice coat of pink paint on there. Definitely do the curing on it. It says 20 minutes after you've done the first steps of this in the oven. It makes it hard, and it definitely makes it durable and will last longer. You slide that on your wire. Then I take just a little bead, and all this does is give it a little bit extra length, because when I put this inline spinner blade, which is what I prefer, I do use the French blades, but you have to buy the clevises and the French blade itself, and that just is more money and more stuff to work with and have to lose. And when you put this on, I do also put this little steel bead on there as a bearing. It definitely helps. So put the little bead on there. Got that on there. Put your spinner blade. See, now this makes it the length of the shaft. It doesn't interfere with the hook. So when the fish bites the tail of the hook of this lure, all he's getting is hook. And that's what you want. You can use the, I don't know how they pronounce it, Swiwash hook. That's the single hook, which they tend to say is better for hooking fish because it's less likely to come out of the fish's mouth. I prefer the treble hook. They also say that you're less likely to snag on the bottom because you only have one hook instead of three. I prefer 3 hooks to catch the fish. That's just me. So, I finished off my loop on the top. I'm going to cut the excess. Hold on to the wire, not the lure, because the wire goes flying off. The lure you can find a lot easier. Kind of straighten that out. Remember, you're going to lose this. It's going to get snagged on the bottom. That cost me maybe $1.50 at the most. So there is a very effective lure. Here are some that I've made that have definitely caught fish. In the summertime I use darker colors, less. This one would be something I'd use right now. It's all silver, very bright. Fish can see it in the low light conditions. This particular one, I've taken a torch and blued it. It takes the patina off. Very, very effective. You can also make a little bucktail. I've taken marabou and just tied that on. And I've also taken a little silver spray paint on the other side of this pink. This is actually a body that I bought at the store. I think it was $4 for 10 of them. You're going to get a better deal with the other, but either way, you know, I've lost 2 of these the other day. This particular fish or lure, I caught 2 steelhead on 2 days ago, both 24-inch wild, so I couldn't keep them because I do fish on the North Umpqua River. But there you go. I got other, you know, I've made hundreds of these. If you're gonna go with the French blade, these are number 4s that I bought for $1.89 for 10 of them. It's fairly cheap. The clevises were 90 cents for 10 of them, and so forth. These inline, which I do prefer better, I got off of eBay. You get a lot of stuff on eBay. You can get the wire shafts for like 100 count of them for probably 10 bucks or better if you really watch your bidding. But I think you'll be very surprised at how many more fish you're going to catch for a lot less money. These you're going to lose them. You know, they get snagged in the rocks. I've casted my $4 blue foxes out on the first cast and got it snagged in a limb or a rock, and you know, you're out $4 and you didn't even get to use it. So what if you lose this? You're out $1.50. You make 4 of them. It took me how long to make this one? I don't know, maybe 2 minutes. So you can make, you know, 5 or 6 of them in a half hour, depending on how fast you get at it. And it doesn't matter if you lose them, you know. Another trick is, instead of the steel egg sinkers, I know it sounds silly, but you could take your pencil lead and just do the same thing. Dip it in your Pro-Cure. It actually puts a nice hard enamel on it, so it keeps it from bending. Well, now you've got a longer one, depending on you know, what size you want to use. This one doesn't have a hook on it, and you'd have to use a split ring for that because it's already finished. But either way, I think that cost me, that's actually off of an old lure that I found that the hook or the body was broken. So I don't know, I think this one was just about free. Either way, good to go. Look at all those. Don't be afraid to lose them, you know. Don't get attached to them, because you're just going to lose them. If you don't want to use the Pro-Tec, use spray paint. Spray paint works really good. I've used on that one that I was showing you with the black, the one that I blued out, has black on the lead. I've also used blue, and blue and gold works really well in the summertime for some reason. I use these gold or brass colored with a blue sinker and a black marabou tail. Whew, deadly. I actually caught this fish on a black tail with blue and gold combination. That's a 44-inch, 30-pound Chinook. Caught that last July. That was a summertime. But I hope this really works for you, and you know, if you feel that you're saving money by it, then that's all that matters, and you're gonna catch fish no matter what. The trick to these lures is to cast them out. Don't necessarily let them hit the bottom, but you do want it to hit the bottom every now and again. It's not like drift fishing, but you just basically want to tap every now and again. You don't want to reel fast. You want it to just lightly make the blade go. When you can feel that spinning around, it's good. Just real nice and slow. Tap. Nice and slow. Tap. And then all of a sudden you'll just feel this, and then you'll hear fish on.